So The Last of Us 2 is already being discounted. Already. Yes. The game's not even a month old, and The Last of Us Part 2 is already discounted. Remember they were talking about, boasting about record sales for the game? Well, the game isn't selling anymore because nobody likes the game. It's just that simple. And again, the first Last of Us is considered a masterpiece, but not this one. According to the critics, it's considered the greatest game of all time. But it's so amazing, so woke. It's everything they wanted out of the sequel. But everybody else, we all know this game's a pile of garbage. Okay, except for the woke people, the dummies, and and those types of people who still out and go, and of course the sales and the Naughty Dog sales will still go out and defend this game to every day until the end of the time. But we all know why people don't like The Last of Us Part 2. The story sucks, the characters suck, they kill off Joel for basically no reason. There's no purpose for him being killed off. They basically just kill him off just to give the middle finger to the fans. But we have several high-profile PS4 years, including this year's hit The Last of Us Part 2, where it also was one of the most returned games of all time, that Sony was basically making so people can't return the game because everybody was returning the game. And at stores in Australia, this game was already used. The game was already used. Used copies are already showing up days after launch. So it's all important to all stops to boost player enjoyment with the current console as it works ahead of the next release of the PlayStation brand. And the PlayStation shows those sign-ups slowing down, so it continues to add new games to the PS4 PlayStation Now-based service, including the rise of popular game Fall Guys. But yes, official list of games being offered on sale, including The Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man, God of War, and Death Stranding. Including third-party games such as Crazy Nights Field, Borderlands 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Do you know what's the difference between Assassin's Creed 2 and all those games? All those games came out last year and before. Death Stranding, Borderlands 3, all these games came out last year or before. I think Death Stranding came out in 2019 as well. Spider-Man came out in 2017. God of War came out, I think, in around 2018. No, but I think both God of War and Spider-Man came out the same year. I could be wrong though, but both God of War and Spider-Man came out in the same year. The Last of Us Part 2 is only 2 months old and the game's already being discounted. Okay? And a good point, this is gonna be like one of the launch games for the PS5 is The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, Sony, it's not gonna sell out on the PS5. It'll probably sell 1 million copies at most on the PS5. The PlayStation Essentials picks include the final, and of course these are saved up to 50% off, including all these other games developed by Crash Bandicoot and Uncharted creators. Of course, Zack and Dax is ignored. Will quickly clean games that off. Fell victim of course they're gonna say that. Hey, it's only review bombing. It's only review bombing. Of course, people are not allowed to dislike The Last of Us Part 2. People are not allowed to dislike a game. Okay, if it's a game or movie that they're protecting, they'll call it review. They'll say it's hateful. Okay, Sword and Shield in terms of games, Last of Us Part 2, and all movies. Oh yes, Captain Marvel. We can't forget Dark Fate, The Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi. Okay, all high-profile movies that were quote-unquote review bombed because people didn't like it. Dark Phoenix. Okay, another movie that they're trying to protect, that the critics and 5 people on Twitter are trying to protect because they're so woke and amazing. According to them. They're trying to, protect, of course, the great Disney remakes that nobody liked, saying that if you don't like Disney remakes, you don't understand the true meaning, or especially Birds of Prey. They were making false campaigns against Sonic, saying that Sonic was a racist movie, and telling kids to go see Birds of Prey instead of go see Sonic. That's what they were telling people to do. It didn't work. Birds of Prey was a big flop. Sonic made way more money than Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was a big flop. It was a failure. Which has been proven that they're not even making a sequel to it. They're not even going to put in the time and money to make a sequel to it. At all. So yes. The Last of Us Part 2 and countless other PS4 games for the next months. The Essential Picks events will be lasting until September 16th. But this just shows that The Last of Us Part 2 is so awful, so horrible. It's already on sale. Of course, it's saying it's PlayStation Essentials, but Really, a new game should not be discounted for like a few 3 or 4 months. For example, if you want to look at Nintendo, they keep the games at the same price, but they still sell because people actually want to play them because they're higher quality games than anything. Anything that Naughty Dog put, and then Neil Cuckman's The Last of Us Poop 2, was to be what it really called. I won't be surprised if the Mario remake sell more copies than The Last of Us Part 2. Yes, I won't be surprised if that happens. And I'll probably convince Nintendo to get rid of the release thing. Hey, if people really like this game, we'll probably continue releasing it. But The Last of Us Part 2, it's already in the bargain bin. Already half off. So that's basically it. Goodbye.